Good afternoon to all. The fact that you are here today shows you know and care about biodiversity. You know that humans depend on biodiversity, that plants and animals provide the food we eat, the medicines that heal us, that trees provide the lumber we use for buildings and furniture, that forests and wetlands purify the water we drink and the air we breathe. You also know that in recent history, human activity has been responsible for the loss of biodiversity and the goods and services it provides. Every day, a few more species go extinct as we are clearing forests, overfishing, polluting lakes and rivers, and changing the climate through production of greenhouse gases. On the other hand, we know that humans have the potential to find solutions and adopt measures and practices to halt the loss of biodiversity. During this decade, those policies and measures will be crucial in determining whether the environmental conditions that benefited human civilizations for over 10,000 years will exist beyond this century. To ensure that biodiversity receives the attention that's needed, the United Nations General Assembly designated 2011 to 2020 the United Nations Decade on Biodiversity. During this decade, all stakeholders are urged to integrate considerations of biodiversity in their activities and to promote life in harmony with nature. Young people have a special interest in maintaining a healthy environment as their future depends on it. They also represent the largest and the fastest growing stakeholder group, more than half of the world's population. This is why working with youth is one of the 5 actions of the UN Secretary-General's 5-year action agenda. Youth groups are engaging more and more in the biodiversity agenda, and policymakers are more and more aware of the importance and role of youth in policy development and implementation. In October 2010, at the 10th meeting of the Conference of the Parties to the CBD in Nagoya, youth groups voiced their concerns about the impact of biodiversity loss on future generations, asked participants to take immediate action to halt that loss, and demonstrated their willingness to work together to preserve biodiversity. One of the outcomes of youth's active participation in the Nagoya meeting was the concept of the Global Youth Biodiversity Network, GYBN, a network of creative, thoughtful, and capable young citizens whose enthusiasm, fresh approaches, and boundless energy can fuel innovative solutions at local and international levels alike. I applaud the organizers of the GYBN kickoff meeting and each of you for your active involvement in this process and for doing your part to make sure that your generation and future generations can live on a rich and stable planet. Let me ask you to do all you can to engage your peers, for we cannot reach the Haiti biodiversity targets agreed by the international community without the full commitment of those who must live on this planet for decades to come. You, the next generation. Of course, you will not be alone in this task. Many of us are committed to fostering engagement to save life on Earth, including we at the Convention on Biological Diversity, who remain committed to contributing to the success of GYBN's mission. I wish you success in your activities.